ASL Prime League.
All right, everybody, welcome back here to the last match of the night. This is ASL Prime League Season 5, and we are here to see who is going to advance second place in this group to join Rain in the round of 16. Could it be this guy representing Dust Gaming from the bottom right, as well as from Korea? It is Spear.
He is going to be spearheading some sort of attack very, very soon, but on the other side of Echo, going to be kicking it off. He just defeated his old nemesis, Zeal. Can he defeat his even older nemesis? Representing Storm Gaming, this is EnDerr.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Not going to catch a break at all. When it comes to those early aggression, at least, Spear going to be going ahead and dropping 2 racks. Full-on 2 racks, straight up bunker rush. What are we going to see out of EnDerr, as he did drop down that hatchery into the gas and then the pool. So definitely one of the better builds for Spear to actually execute against EnDerr, as he did go for, I would say, one of the more, greedier builds that still can deal with it. However, it's just a lot harder.
Certainly on a 2-player map, you don't expect these days anyone to go for double hatch before pool, anything like that. Like, that's just silly. But sometimes you do see, hatch, gas. Sometimes it's even like hatch, gas, drone, pool, something weird like that. And in that case, of course, that's what Spear is hoping for. Proxy, double racks, and you want your opponent to go for that greedy build, the delayed pool, get up your bunkers, get your marine count out, and well, we just got 3 Marines now. A couple of more going to be, of course, steadily streaming across the map. And I guess repositioning one of the bunkers a little bit, but first couple of lings are out. It's going to be hard to really push this back.
Yeah, I think he's just going to let it go, drop down a Baneling Nest, and try for the counterattack. The only thing I don't like about this is that he's made it so obvious already. By not trying to save that hatchery, it's good because you don't lose any of the drones, but all Spear has to do, and he knows it, is just hold the counterattack. So, I mean, as far as builds go, sometimes it's very hard to do so. Excuse me, even if you know that it's coming. But, I mean, he can mentally prepare for it for sure. It's a very common counterattack if you try not to take any damage at the natural.
It's one of those things that it feels like you almost have to do. Like, in this situation, you aren't going to save the natural hatchery, so it has to be, I have to win after the natural hatchery dies. What's the best way to do that? Banelings. And then, of course, getting like a really good bust on the other side of the map when they don't necessarily have very much. The double racks has already been pulled back to the other side of the map. The CC is on the way, on the low ground, of course, and now we got the double gas on the way as well. But in the turn of events, we've naturally got the 3 racks, the 3rd racks rather, but this is so many bunkers to bust through right on the front lines.
These are just economy wasters at this point. He will break on through. Is he going to get the units, though? These 2 bunkers are still putting in work, as they do kill a lot of those lings. And that is enough lings to break through a supply depot or 2, but not through barracks.
He's going to have to deal with a full racks wall-off, and there will be a couple of Marines behind that, of course, as time goes on, as these Banelings eventually morph. I'm assuming they're going to be kind of morphed on the Terran side of the map, but more Marines are going to be pumped out now, 3 at a time. More Lings have managed to escape. You did mention the bunkers have been doing some pretty good work, and that certainly is true. Marine's going to be consolidated into one of the bunkers. As the Lings come in, they go for pretty much the full wraparound. They're going to be able to clean up the SCVs without too much trouble, and the transfuses on the Queen's going to be saving them as they hop from bunker to bunker. The Marines trying to get as much life and longevity as Spear is microing, stutter stepping back, trying to get as much usefulness out of those last few Marines, and he did all right.
Even a scan. Like,
wow.
Spear He knows that the hatchery just started. I think he was able to see that. Oh, no, he wasn't actually able to see. But he can assume because the bust did not continue. And to go into this is going to be very, very risky if he were to try to Baneling bust it. And very expensive. Something, I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of resources. I just don't know what it is that he's going to do from here. He will try, though. He's not giving up. I like it.
Spear going to be trying to kind of transition out of this with a relatively early third CC. It is going to be about halfway done, and naturally the third hatch of our Zerg player. It's about a quarter of the way done, not quite as far along, but of course triple mule is one of those things that casters love to talk about because it is a very important factor in any game, and knocking down or denying the fourth base of the Zerg while still maintaining that triple mule economy can be such an important part of any TVZ, an important kind of stage of the ebb and flow of TVZ.
Yeah, dropping that third command center just is, it hurts. I mean, as a Zerg player, you look at it and he's just, I mean, I don't know if, did he see it with that Overlord? So he does know about it, so... what do you do? You can try to, like, utilize some kind of Roach Bane timing in order to deal and break through, but when you try to go toe-to-toe economically with the regular standard build, it's really hard. I mean, it's super-duper hard to keep up with only 3 bases of your own in your kind of limited production.
Spear is deciding it's time to push out across the map. Of course, he doesn't exactly have, like, particularly... Well, he doesn't have medevac support, but he doesn't have any particular upgrades, really, either. I mean, not even combat shields have been started at this point. Stim +1/+1 are on the way. Of course, with a fair number of Hellions, the targeting down on those Banelings is actually really nice. A couple of the Baneling hits are pretty solid, but there's 2 more Banelings going to be rolling in, clearing up pretty much every one of these Marines.
That was really good, actually, yeah. The hatchery is going to stay alive. And I guess the worst thing that this did was force out units out of EnDerr, you know. So while Spear is just making SCVs and about to land his third base, he didn't want EnDerr to just continue to make drones. So he was trying to get a good trade right there. And you could say that any trade is a good trade at that point, but I feel like he could have kind of juiced that a little bit more, you know, without eating the full brunt of the Baneling hit.
That sort of engagement started out well for Spear, and then suddenly it just turned south very, very quickly. And EnDerr was, as you said, he was just able to crush through that with those Banelings. And now we got the layer on the way. Racks number 4 and 5 are going to be on the way, of course, after that third orbital. And the Ling's going to be showing up. They're like, hey, you know what? Let's repay the kind of favor of you trying to kill off my third. I'm gonna put a little bit of damage, put a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, and he has the Lings out on the map, so he needs to do something with them. He's going to try his best. A lot of Hellions are out here, though, and they do pretty well against Lings, so...
As long as they can avoid getting totally surrounded.
Yeah, and they're going to get taken out. And now the cooling tower might get shot, as Spear does break it down, so no more run-bys are going to be... Well, there will be possible, but it's going to be a lot harder to do here for EnDerr, and a lot of his options are starting to get exhausted as he's playing a standard game here, you know. He's not doing anything out of the ordinary just yet, as far as, say, Burrow, I don't know, maybe like a Roach Bane style. And let's hope that he can do it, you know, just try to bring himself back up, despite the fact that he was not able to really deal with that bunker rush in the beginning.
6 Hellbats and about 16 Marines going to be pushing out across the map. They're here to finish the job. They're here to snipe that third hatchery.
He goes back home and just like, yeah, I don't need no stinking third CC. As soon as the casters talk about it.
Naturally. Dakota, game number 2 of our final best of 3, but will it be the final game of today? It very well could be, as we have had 4 consecutive 2-0s, and this could be the 5th 2-0 of this group, which would be like the shutout group, I guess is what we would call it then. In this particular case, we have the man in the bottom right-hand corner. He is looking for revenge from the Season 4 Challenger semifinals against his opponent, but our pink Zerg player representing the Philippines, representing Psystorm Gaming. This is EnDerr.
And his opponent spawning in the top left, one more game away from qualifying, or at least advancing to the round of 16. Representing Dust Gaming as well as Korea, it is Spear.
Once again, the hatch first. Actually, I guess it was hatch gas pool. So pretty much the same opener coming out from EnDerr, and he has no fear. He's like, all right, you proxy 2-raxed me. I was almost able to bring that game back. You're not going to do it 2 games in a row.
Yeah, calling the bluff, right? Just like, I dare you to do it. And I think the fact that he made it a little bit too obvious that he was going to do the Baneling Bust made it so that Spear lifted up his barracks a lot earlier. So, like, if he doesn't get that barracks wall, then, of course, that counterattack is such a threat. But he made the right choice in that going for the Baneling Bust is great. But I'm sure that Spear has had that happen to him many a time, and he's just said, all right. Oh, I'm loving this micro, by the way, for the drones. Not even pulling them to make extractors or anything.
Oh, that Reaper. Nope,
Whoop.
never mind. Those cliffs do allow him to escape, but occasionally you'll see someone jump up, and they kind of don't realize that the lings are so close, and they maybe look away for a slight moment, and then suddenly the Reaper gets caught, but
Yep,
it is not
by
so.
a bunch of slowlings, right? It's like, well, that's embarrassing.
You're like, that's not supposed to happen, come on.
Well, on the other side of things, though, Spear going to be going into what looks like to be a very standard build once again, as he does get his factory done. Not going to add another Reaper, I don't believe. Yeah, he actually made 2 Marines instead, so these are going to go Overlord hunting, while the Reaper stays at the middle to see if there is some kind of crazy counterattack. When speed finishes, perhaps. He might even want to go home. But he might just go and stay onto the map. He might lose actually everything if he's not careful.
Oh. Yeah. Well, he's got a couple of Lings out looking for those Marines, as you mentioned, but Ling's speed just now finishing up just before the 6-minute mark, which is fairly stock standard. We do have the 2-base 111 as the starport is finishing up, but the interesting thing about that is that the starport is attached to a tech lab. So we do have that Banshee business on the way.
But he's working off of 1 gas here, so he's not even going to be going for the cloak. And is he going to do it for the scout, or is he actually going to commit to the Banshee is what I'm wondering. Because, you know, cloak is...
Ooh.
Oh!
These Lings.
Yeah, this is a very awkward little push here. Coming out of Spear. He's going to get an Overlord, and that's going to supply block EnDerr. 3 Queens. They don't have any transfuses, so they don't have enough DPS here.
Definitely. Oh, 1 Queen does go down. Awkward engagements on both sides of the map as the Lings were able to clean up a couple of SCVs, but now drones going to be going down for thus far 8, and another shot from these Hellions could roast a couple more. They're going to be focusing on those Queens, denying that future production as he heads up to the high ground. That 1 Queen goes down, and Spear's attack has certainly been a bit more bountiful, a bit more productive than the attack of EnDerr. Oh, wow.
The Banshee is here, and how much of that anti-air got taken out during that attack, and even that other Queen is so low. This Banshee is going to have a great little time. There are no Spore Crawlers here, so it doesn't even matter that he didn't get the cloak. This is going to work out perfectly fine for him.
An Overseer is morphing as well, but there's no cloak, as you mentioned, so that kind of is a waste of an Overseer. Not that big of a deal as he's losing so many drones, which is a far bigger deal. 10, 13 drones going down. The total bringing it up to 23 as these Hellions continuing to wreak havoc.
Wow, what a build. It just takes EnDerr apart, like, and I don't even know, man. That was so, I don't know. What's the word that I'm trying to think of here? Just like well put together.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.